Good morning, students. Today we are going to see chapter 2, acids, bases and salts, a quick review of second lesson. So at this time you are thorough with some equations in acids, bases and salts. So now we can revise it quickly. So what is meant by the term acids, bases and salts? So at this time you know the definitions for acids. So acids are sour in taste and it will convert the blue litmus paper into red in color. Base, it is bitter in taste and soapy to touch. Bitter in taste and soapy to touch. So the base will be, it will turn red litmus paper into blue in color. Salts, these are ionic compounds produced as a result of neutralization reaction of acids as well as bases. So what is mean by acid base indicator as well as natural indicators and olfactory indicators? At this time you are familiar with all these terms. So acid base indicator, we are having so many acids base indicator, that is phenolphthalein, methyl orange and so on. And here what are all the natural indicators present? Litmus indicators as well as it is prepared from lichens, and we are also having with the help of cabbage we can prepare indicators. So that indicators will be turmeric indicator, and these are all the naturally available indicators. These are available in nature, and acid base indicator are available in the laboratory, that is man-made indicators. And what are all the reactions we have seen? Reactions of acids and bases with metals. So this is the first topic in this lesson. So what is the general equation for acids and bases with metal? So for this reaction to happen, we are taking an acid that reacts with the metal to give salt as well as hydrogen gas. So here acids just we are taking in a test tube, that is dilute sulfuric acid, and here we are adding zinc granules to it. After sometimes if you see, some bubbles will be produced at the surface of the test tube, and the gases which produced will be passed with the help of delivery tube to the soap solution contained in the beaker. And after sometimes if you see, bubbles will be coming outside, that is due to hydrogen gas. When we keep the burning candle in front of that bubbles, the bubbles will start to burst, and this is the reaction, and the hydrogen gas is evolved outside, so the bubbles burst with the pop sound, and this is also the reaction for hydrogen gas test. So here this is the reaction of acids and bases with metal, and the reactions of acids and bases with each other, that is your neutralization reaction. We are taking acid and a base that will form salt as well as water. So what just whatever acid you want you can take. Hydrochloric acid react with sodium hydroxide, it will produce sodium chloride with water. So that is the reaction of acids and bases with each other, and the reaction of metallic oxides with acids. So what are all the reactions of metallic oxides with acids? That is, here general equation for this is, just we are taking metallic oxide reacts with an acid, it will produce salt as well as water. So metallic oxide, just what we are taking will react to give salt as well as water. Here we are taking copper oxide in a beaker, just we are adding dilute hydrochloric acid. After sometimes we are stirring, so the product obtained will be copper 2 chloride. So the blue green color of the solution is due to the formation of copper 2 chloride in the reaction. So that is the reaction of metallic oxides with acids, and reactions of non-metallic oxides with acids. So here that is the reaction between carbon dioxide and calcium hydroxide. So already we have seen in the previous reaction itself, that is reaction of metal carbonates with the metal hydrogen carbonates. So that reactions here we are taking, that is carbon dioxide when it reacts with the calcium hydroxide, that is lime water, which is a base, reaction with the carbon dioxide to produce salt as well as water. So the salt will be produced as well as water will be produced as the product. So that is the reaction of non-metallic oxides with the base. And here next what we are going to see is the importance of pH in everyday life. So pH means hydrogen ion concentration, and what are all the importance. So in general, in previous classes itself you have studied, so it is used in various places. Just for digestive system, pH will be maintained, and tooth decay will be caused due to the pH acidity in the mouth. So for that you will be adding, that is basic toothpaste. And the digestive systems, that is if you overeat any substance in our stomach due to the excess production of hydrochloric acid, so it will be affected your stomach. So in order to that, a mild base, that is magnesium hydroxide or milk of magnesia is used in order to soften your acidic, that is in order to reduce the acidic nature in the stomach. So a mild base will be produced. So in self-defense by animals and plants through chemicals welfare, that also used. So pH plays a vital role in everyday life. And next topic is about salt, that is chemicals from common salt. So salt is produced as a result of acids and bases due to neutralization reaction. So due to neutralization reaction, acids reacts with the base, it will produce salt as well as water. For example, you can take any acid, that is hydrochloric acid you can take, and a common base, either sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide you can take. It will produce salt, that is sodium chloride or potassium chloride, and water will be produced. Usually salts will be in the form of ionic form, that is Na plus as well as Cl minus, or K plus as well as Cl minus, like that it will produce. So it will be obtained in the ionic form, that is anion as well as cation. These common salts are used in various preparations. So for example, we can prepare sodium hydroxide, bleaching powder, baking soda, and that is baking soda is having n number of applications in kitchen purpose, and washing soda as well as plaster of Paris and so on. So these are all the various uses of the common salt, and the products obtained in all the reaction will be also having various uses. So these are all the general introduction about acids, bases and salt, and some reactions also we have studied. Now you can go on to the question and answers, that is short question and answers. First question, which gas is usually liberated when an acid reacts with a metal? So when acids reacts with a metal, what type of gas will be liberated outside? So here the answer is hydrogen gas. So that is the first reaction you have to see here, that you have to apply, that is acid and bases when reacts with the metal, it will that is hydrogen gas will be coming outside. Acid plus metal gives salt plus hydrogen gas. That thing you have to apply to this question. And second one, name a salt which does not contain water of crystallization. So here the answer for this is baking soda. And next question, write an equation to show the reaction between plaster of Paris and water. So what is the reaction between the plaster of Paris as well as water? So here on heating gypsum at 373 Kelvin, it loses water molecules and becomes calcium sulfate hemihydrate, that is CaSO4 dot half H2O. This is called plaster of Paris, the substance which is used by the doctors for supporting fractured bones in the right position. And plaster of Paris is a white powder, and on mixing with water it changes to gypsum, once again giving a hard solid mass, and this is the reaction, that is CaSO4 dot half H2O plus 1.5 water molecule reacts to give gypsum again, that is CaSO4 dot 2H2O. So the plaster of Paris formula is CaSO4 dot half H2O. That is plaster of Paris formula. The product obtained is very hard, that is CaSO4 dot 2H2O. Next question, what would be the color of litmus in a solution of sodium carbonate? So sodium carbonate, what will be the color of the litmus in the sodium carbonate? It will be blue in color, right? And next question, name the compound which is used for softening hard water. So there are two types of water, one is hard water, another one is soft water. So here for softening the hard water we are using sodium carbonate. The formula for sodium carbonate is Na2CO3. And here is the next question. So you have to classify the following into acidic oxides and basic oxides. There are some acidic oxides and basic oxides. In together they gave, that is Na2, that is sodium oxide, sulfur dioxide, magnesium oxide and carbon dioxide. So you have to separate what are all acidic oxides and what are all basic oxides. So the acidic oxides are SO2 and CO2, that is sulfur dioxide and carbon dioxide. Basic oxides are sodium oxide and magnesium oxide. So like this the questions will come. You have to find what are all acidic oxides, what are all basic oxides. And next question, what is the change in pH values of milk when it changes into curd? Explain. So here is the answer. pH decreases by the presence of lactic acid. So already you know in curd lactic acid is present. So the pH decreases by the presence of lactic acid in curd because acids generally have low pH value. Hence pH will decrease when milk changes into curd. That is the answer. So you already know pH value of acid and what type of acid is present in the curd. That concept you have to apply here. And next question, what is cost of decay of tooth? What is the pH of mouth required? So usually here you have to pH, that is the important role of pH in our everyday life. That is the concept you are applying here. So the tooth decay is due to the presence of germs in our mouth, and as usual if you are eating more acidic substance, that will cause tooth decay. Suppose if you are eating sugary content in a higher amount, automatically the germs will be present in the tooth, will be containing acidic property. So for that it will make our tooth to decay. In order to prevent tooth from decay, or you have to use basic nature paste, that is paste containing basic material. Like that paste you have to choose it and you have to use it. And the enamel of our tooth started getting damaged when pH of tooth is less than 5.5. Tooth decay starts when the pH of the mouth produce acids by degradation of sugar and food particles remaining in the mouth after eating. Toothpaste is basic in nature, is used to neutralize the acid. So in order to neutralize the tooth decay that is due to acidic nature, you have to use basic toothpaste, that is basic material toothpaste you have to use. Next question, a white powder is added while baking breads and cakes to make them soft and fluffy. What is the name of the powder? What are the main ingredients in it? What are the functions of each ingredient? So you are already familiar with this, that in our kitchen also we will be using, in order to prepare soft idlis or soft dosas, you will be adding baking powder or baking soda. So especially in bakeries they will be adding baking powder plus baking soda in order to bake the breads and cakes fluffy and soft. Plus they will be adding some yeast. So answer for that is baking powder, baking soda and an edible acid like tartaric acid. It is used to release carbon dioxide gas when heated. Tartaric acid is used to avoid the bitter taste by reacting with the sodium carbonate formed. So in order to make the bakery food soft and fluffy, we are adding baking powder. That is the answer. So this will come under the applications of common salt. So we are having various applications of common salt, and this is the applications of common salt, that is baking powder. This is one of the applications of common salt. Next question, name the 3 products of chlor-alkali process. Write one commercially or industrially important material each that can be prepared from each of these products. So the 3 products obtained in the chlor-alkali method, that is sodium hydroxide, chlorine and hydrogen gas. So you have to write the applications of sodium hydroxide, chlorine as well as hydrogen gas. Sodium hydroxide, as usual you know, it is basic substance which is used in making soaps, detergents, in paper making or artificial fibers. So this is the use of sodium hydroxide. Next one is chlorine. That is, it is used in for pesticides as well as for preparation of PVC pipes. And next one is hydrogen gas. It is used in fuels, ammonia for fertilizers. So chlor-alkali process is one of the applications of common salt, that is sodium hydroxide. That process is otherwise called as chlor-alkali method. That is, when sodium chloride reacts with water, it gives sodium hydroxide, chlorine and hydrogen. That equation you have to write here, and you have to explain the any three uses of sodium hydroxide, chlorine as well as your hydrogen. So these are all the short question and answers. Next we are going to long question and answer. The first question is, draw a neat and a labeled diagram to show the following activity: action of dilute sulfuric acid on zinc granules. So here there are 2 questions they asked. One is, name the gas evolved. So in above reaction, what gas is evolved? That you have to write. And second one, how will you test for the gas? So that also you have to write. So just I will explain it. What are all the things you have to write here? First activity part you have to write. For that, just you have to take about 5 ml of dilute sulfuric acid in a test tube. So in a test tube you have to take 5 ml of dilute H2SO4 and add few pieces of zinc granules. So you have to add few pieces of zinc granules, and next you have to just observe what happened, right? And afterwards some bubbles will be coming outside the gas, right? So you have to check that bubbles which is coming outside, and you have to take a soap solution in a beaker. That bubbles will be passed through the delivery tube to that soap solution. After sometimes if you check and see, that is bubbles will be coming outside, and that bubbles will be, just if you bring a burning candle near to the soap bubbles, the bubbles started to burst with pop sound, right? And this is the activity part. And how this pop sound, what is the reason, means that hydrogen gas coming outside will burst in the form of bubbles, will burst. So you are getting sound in the form of pop sound. Here the gas evolved is hydrogen. And how will you test for the gas? That is, you have to bring burning candle near to the soap bubbles, and the bubbles will start to burst. And that is the test for the gas, that is pop test. And here you have to write the equation, that is acid when reacts with the metal, it will produce salt plus hydrogen gas will be produced. And you have to write the equation, that is we are taking just what acid we are taking, sulfuric acid. That sulfuric acid, if it reacts with the zinc metal, the product obtained will be salt. that is zinc sulfate plus hydrogen gas will be going outside. That product, the reaction takes place, that can be hydrogen gas will be coming outside, and that you have to write it, and you have to draw the clear diagram to explain the above equations as well as above explanation part. And here is the next question. Write the difference between metals as well as non-metals. So here itself you are studying metals as well as non-metals. So you should know what is mean by the term metal and what is mean by the term non-metal. So metals and non-metals already you are studied within the lower classes itself. So the metals are good conductors of heat and have high melting point. So that you have to write, as well as metals that produce sound on striking a hot surface are said to be sonorous. So metals will be producing sound here, that is sonorous property will be present in metals. All metals except mercury exist as solids at room temperature. Metals will have high melting point. So metals will be also having high melting points, and just iodine is a non-metal, but it is lustrous. So these are all the differences between metals you have to write. And coming to non-metals, that is just opposite. It will not be having either solids or gases except bromine, which is appear in the form of liquid, as well as it is not having sonorous property, it will not conduct electricity. All those things you have to write in this differences. So for this differences you can refer lesson 3 also, that is metals as well as non-metals. And next question, how do metal carbonates and metal hydrogen carbonates reacts with acids? That you have to write. So here just I will explain an activity part, that is we are taking 2 test tubes, that is label them as A and B. So we are taking 2 test tubes, one you have to label it as A and another you have to label it as B. Take about 0.5 grams of sodium carbonate, that is Na2CO3 in test tube A, and about 0.5 grams of sodium hydrogen carbonate, that is NaHCO3 in the test tube B. In both the test tube you have to add dilute HCl. So first test tube you are taking sodium carbonate, and second test tube we are taking sodium hydrogen carbonate. Both the test tube you are adding dilute HCl 2 ml 2 ml, and you have to observe what is happening to the reaction vessel. And after sometimes if you check and see, some gases will be produced and that will be passed through lime water. Lime water means calcium hydroxide solution, and you have to record your observation what is happening, that you have to write it in the form of equation. So for test tube A you have to write the equation separately, and test tube B you have to write the equation separately. So in test tube A we are taking sodium carbonate plus we are taking hydrochloric acid. So the product obtained will be salt, that is sodium chloride plus water plus carbon dioxide gas will be coming outside. In second test tube we are taking sodium hydrogen carbonate, that we are adding hydrochloric acid. So the product obtained will be sodium chloride, water as well as carbon dioxide. So after some times we are just passing that carbon dioxide gas through lime water. So the formed test tube A we are getting carbon dioxide, and test tube B also we are getting carbon dioxide with the help of delivery tube. The delivery tube means it will be a small thin tube, that is it is made up of glass material, that with the help of that tube the gas produced, that is carbon dioxide gas, that is passed through lime water, that is calcium hydroxide. The product obtained will be a white precipitate of calcium carbonate plus water. So that is a white precipitate of calcium carbonate will be produced. This is the explanation part of this question. You have to write the equations correctly in the form of a balanced way, plus you have to draw the diagram clearly. And next question, explain the reactions of metallic oxides with acids and non-metallic oxide with base. So just you have to explain two types of reaction, that is acids how metallic oxides are reacting, and with the base how non-metallic oxides are reacting. That you have to explain. So for this, first I will tell how to write metallic oxides with acids, and I will explain non-metallic oxide with a base. So for this, what is the simple activity you are writing? Take a small amount of copper oxide in a beaker and add dilute hydrochloric acid slowly, and you have to stir it with the help of glass rod. Note the color of the solution and what happened to the copper oxide, how it is converted, that you have to write. Suppose when metallic oxides, if it reacts with acids, what will be the product? The product is salt as well as water, that is the color of the solution becomes blue green and the copper oxide dissolves, and due to the formation of copper 2 chloride in the reacting vessel. So the equation for that is metal oxide, that is copper oxide, reacts with dilute HCl, it will give copper 2 chloride plus water. That is the answer for metallic oxides with acids. And second one, how non-metallic oxides with a base, that is just already this reaction you have studied, carbon dioxide and calcium hydroxide, that is already in previous question itself, metal carbonates when reacts with acids, in that part you have studied, right? That equation you have to write here. Calcium hydroxides, when it reacts with the carbon dioxide, that will produce calcium hydroxide, that is calcium hydroxide CaOH twice. That equation you have to write here, which is a base, reacts with the carbon dioxide to produce salt as well as water, that is calcium hydroxide CaOH twice plus carbon dioxide gas, that gives CaCO3, white precipitate plus water. So this is the answer for metallic oxides when it reacts with acids as well as when it reacts with base. Next question is a reason out statement, that is first question. Here 5 questions are there, just I will explain one by one. First one is rainwater conducts electricity but distilled water does not. What is the reason? That you have to write, that is distilled water is a pure form of water, no ions will be present in the distilled water, it is neither acidic nor basic in nature, so distilled water does not dissociate into ions, because there is no ions in the distilled water, we are removing all the ions, so that only we are telling it is a pure form of water. So it cannot dissociate into ions, since conduction of electricity requires free ions, so distilled water does not conduct electricity, while rainwater, being an impure form of water, contains many ionic species. These ions are responsible for electrical conductivity of rainwater. So rainwater contains many ions, but distilled water does not contain ions. So distilled water is not conducting electricity, but rainwater conducts electricity. That is the answer for first reason out question. And second question is, we feel burning sensation in the stomach when we overeat. That is due to acidity, that is excess secretion of acid. Suppose if you are eating excess food, so much of acidic conditions is present in your stomach, that will cause some burning sensation. So what is the reason? That is because if you eat food too much, hydrochloric acid is produced in our stomach, which causes burning sensation. So due to the presence of excess amount of hydrochloric acid, that causes burning sensation in our stomach. So what is the curing method for this? Means you have to take antacids, that is milk of magnesia or magnesium hydroxide as a tablet in order to, that is a basic substance, in order to just soothe your stomach, that is in order to neutralize your excess secretion of hydrochloric acid. And next question is, a tarnished copper vessel regain its shine when rubbed with lemon. So what is the answer? A copper vessel tarnish is due to the formation of, that is color change, due to the formation of basic copper carbonate, which gets neutralized when rubbed with lemon, and copper vessel regains its shine. So if you just using copper vessel, nowadays it is familiar, we are using copper vessels. So after 1 week or 10 days, the color of the copper vessel will be changed. Your mother will be used to clean that copper vessel with the help of tamarind or with the help of lemon in order to bring the color again. So in order to neutralize that color, just we are rubbing with the lemon and copper vessel, it regain its shine again. So again we can get back the color of the copper vessel. And next question is, the crystals of washing soda changes to white powder on exposure to air. Just the washing soda, that is white color powder, it will be converted into crystals when it exposed to air. What is the reason? That is, it loses 10 molecules of water and changes to white powder. The crystals of washing soda changes to white powder on exposure to air. Crystals, like crystalline structure of washing soda, when exposed to air is converted into powder because of the loss of water molecules. That is sodium carbonate 10H2O. That is the formula for washing soda. When exposed to air, automatically it loses water molecules and it converted into a white powder, right? And next question is, an aqueous solution of sodium chloride is neutral, but an aqueous solution of sodium carbonate is basic. What is the reason? Sodium chloride is a salt of strong acid HCl and strong base NaOH. So it is neutral. Sodium carbonate is a salt of weak acid H2CO3 and a strong base NaOH. So it is a basic. That is, NaCl when reacts with water, it will produce sodium hydroxide plus HCl. When sodium carbonate reacts with water, it will produce NaOH plus bicarbonates. So these is the answers for the given reason out questions. And next question is, write the applications of common salt in detail. So we are having n number of applications of common salt, but in your book they give around 5 applications. That applications with equations you have to explain in detail. So the common salt is produced due to the neutralization reactions of acids and base. So you will get a common salt, that is salt as well as water will be produced. So first one is sodium hydroxide. So that already you have studied in short question and answer. That is sodium hydroxide, if it produced means sodium chloride, when reacts with water it will produce sodium hydroxide, chlorine and hydrogen. This process is otherwise called as chlor-alkali process because the products chlor for chlorine and alkali for sodium hydroxide. So here 3 useful products are obtained. One is sodium hydroxide, chlorine as well as hydrogen. All will be having various applications that we have discussed in the short question and answer itself. And next one is bleaching powder. That is, bleaching powder is produced, is represented, the formula for bleaching powder is calcium oxychloride. Okay, so this is produced during the, chlorine is produced during the electrolysis of aqueous sodium chloride. Aqueous sodium chloride is otherwise called as brine solution. This chlorine gas is used for the manufacture of bleaching powder. The bleaching powder is produced by the action of chlorine on dry slackened lime, that is calcium hydroxide. Bleaching powder is represented as calcium oxychloride, that is calcium hydroxide plus chlorine gives calcium oxychloride plus water. Bleaching powder having n number of applications in laundry, that is for cleaning purpose, for bleaching washed clothes in laundry, as well as it is used as an oxidizing agent in many chemical industries to make drinking water free from germs. So for bleaching wood pulp in paper factories, so many applications are there. And next, third application is baking soda. It is commonly used in the kitchen for making crispy items. So it is added for cooking in order to make it very fast. So the chemical name of the compound is sodium hydrogen carbonate, that is NaHCO3. It is produced using sodium chloride. So it is one of the raw material, that is sodium chloride. When reacts with water, carbon dioxide, ammonia, it produces ammonium chloride plus sodium hydrogen bicarbonate, that is sodium hydrogen carbonate is produced. This sodium hydrogen carbonate, on heating, it produces sodium carbonate, water and carbon dioxide. Sodium hydrogen carbonate has got various uses in the household items. And baking soda, it is used in baking industries in order to bring it fluffy, soft, everything already you have studied in short question and answer itself. And last one is washing soda, another chemical that can be obtained from sodium chloride is sodium carbonate dot 10H2O. So here on recrystallization, it will leave the water molecules to form sodium carbonate, that is Na2CO3 plus 10H2O gives Na2CO3, that is washing soda plus water molecules will be going off, that is dot 10H2O. Uses of washing soda, it is used in the glass, soap and paper industries. It is used in the manufactures of sodium compounds such as borax. Sodium carbonate can be used as a cleaning agent for domestic purpose. It is used for removing permanent hardness of water. So these are all the applications of common salt. So these are all some important questions in this chapter 2. Thank you.